Brittney Griner, ho ho ho! She just never stops complaining. Same thing with the WNBA, man. This is Sports Guy talking that you guys are watching and listening to. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to talk about Brittney Griner complaining again about her life. Once again, Brittney Griner found something to be angry about, which was about charter flights. The WNBA also has problems too with others since A'ja Wilson is apparently offended by what Mikal Bridges asked on Twitter. Before I say anything else though, I want to present you guys with a topic question. So here it is. How much do you dislike Brittney Griner's antics in the WNBA? And the answer to that question is a ton. I dislike it a lot. You know why I dislike what Brittney Griner does? Because Brittney Griner is woke, she's self-centered, she's a narcissist, and she doesn't understand how the common American man feels, or the American person, as we should rather say. Because I don't think a lot of women, particularly normal women, like Brittney Griner either. That's if they even know who Brittney Griner is. Brittney Griner overrates her importance. And Brittney Griner right now is asking for charter flights, and WNBA is granting it to her, which I think is absolutely ridiculous considering the fact that the WNBA is beyond broke. The WNBA is paying for stuff that they don't have in their bank account. I've said before in the past that the WNBA should cease to exist, and that the only reason why they exist is because the NBA continuously funds them time after time again. Now, don't ask me why the NBA funds them all the time. I mean, if the NBA is funding the WNBA like this, I have to wonder why the NFL isn't funding money to the XFL to help them stay alive in the consistent long run, or any other minor league in the NFL. At least minor league football is actually somewhat interesting. The WNBA is a dump dive. It is not a good product whatsoever. The players in there are not relatable. The teams in there are almost virtually invisible. And the fact that there isn't really a lot of any rootable faces in there whatsoever. What is their reputation? Their reputation is doing anything that isn't basketball related and being woke. The WNBA, they want to be political activists, and they want to act like a bunch of CNN supporters. When I look at the WNBA, I think, okay, this is the players' version of what left-wing sports media or left-wing political media looks like. Which, you know what that does for a lot of fans, including myself? Just go ahead and change the channel, because no one wants to watch that. Brittney Griner is ungrateful for America. Everybody knows that. Brittney Griner knows that herself too. Brittney Griner does not respect America. That's how big her ego is. And Brittney Griner, who freaking sounds like a man, by the way. No offense to you, Brittney Griner, but you do sound like a man. She's always crying all the time about her rights or her lack of. And she talked about how America used to be racist, it used to be sexist. And then guess what? When she got detained in Russia, what happened? She was begging for America to return her out of prison in Russia. But I thought America was the most racist and sexist country out of all the countries in the world, Brittney Griner. What happened? What happened was you got desperate, you got scared, and you wanted to go back to your family, and you wanted to go back to the security and comforts of your home country just so you could hide behind your phone on Twitter or whatever you're hiding behind. There's a reason why Brittney Griner's parents have never exactly defended her. That's because her parents are actually normal people that are actually attempting to do the right thing in society instead of trying to be woke. They actually have real values. Unlike Brittney Griner, her parents are actually respectable figures in society. All these people that keep defending Brittney Griner knows how they're not her family, and notice how they're not her relatives. Brittney Griner has a lot of problems within herself. She has a lot of problems within her identity, and I wonder why that is the case. Actually, we don't need to wonder why. We know exactly why Brittney Griner has identity crisis issues. It's because of the fact that Brittney Griner tries to act more like a man. She's a man psychologically in a woman's body. It's that simple. Brittney Griner, when she speaks, she sounds like a freaking dead horse speaking. And when you talk about Brittney Griner, what in charter flights, this is again another example of Brittney Griner being a spoiled brat. Yes, women can be spoiled brats too. We always roast men for being spoiled brats, but we can also roast women for that too. That can go for both genders. It can go for anybody really that fits for that description. Brittney Griner wants charter flights, and the WNBA is mind-blowingly giving it to her and for the entire WNBA. Now look, the WNBA was losing about $10 million on average just a few years ago. With the WNBA going even more woke now, it's no wonder that they're going even more broke than they were before. They're probably losing at least $30 million a year just off the charter flights alone. And even if they weren't, they're losing triple the amount of money that they were losing just a few years ago, I guarantee it. Now, they don't release those numbers anymore. That's because of the fact that they were probably too embarrassed to share their revenue or their lack of, since it's probably so bad and that there's not probably much that they could defend off of. So Brittney Griner Griner, this is not a rootable figure whatsoever. Brittney Griner is not a true representation of America whatsoever. So obviously, them getting charter flights, that's not going to be beneficial. This is not the NFL. This is not the NBA. This ain't even MLB or NHL. These leagues have the money to support that, but the WNBA definitely doesn't have the money to support that. Even if the WNBA was only making $10 million a year, they still wouldn't even have the money to support this. But the fact that they're already losing at the bare minimum $10 million, I'm willing to bet it's triple that value now. It's absolutely not worth it. The only way that they're existing right now is because of the NBA. Like I've said in the past, the WNBA should cease to exist. And you know why Brittney Griner is feeling that way? It's because she's supposedly mad at what a YouTuber asked her while she was on the airport. Since the WNBA travels with regular people, they travel with commercial people. It's because a YouTuber named Alex Stein actually recognized Brittney Griner. I know, right? Somebody recognizing a WNBA player. So Alex Stein, he ends up yelling at Brittney Griner, "Hey, do you still want to boycott America, Brittney? She hates America. What about the Merchant of Death, Brit?" And Brittney Griner's getting mad. And honestly, I don't blame Alex Stein for asking these questions. I've been asking the same questions myself. The mainstream media should have asked her those questions much earlier. The fact that they haven't, shame on you, mainstream media. But what do we expect from the mainstream media in this country, man? They're just a bunch of left-wing propagandists. So when you talk about what Alex Stein said, I thought Alex Stein asked some pretty smart questions on his part. It's not like Alex Stein asked Brittney Griner, "Hey, how come you don't like Russia more than America? Since, you know, America is the most racist country and most sexist country in the entire world." It's not like he asked Brittney Griner that. He only asked, "Do you still want to boycott?" And he only made remarks about how she hated America. And she asked about the Merchant of Death, which is the guy that Joe Biden traded cells with Brittney Griner in order to get Brittney Griner out of prison in Russia. But honestly, these are valid questions because I was wondering the exact same thing. I was thinking the same thing because Brittney Griner, hey, she's the one that says she don't like America, and she's the one that say America is racist. She said that America is sexist, and obviously it's a good question to ask about the Merchant of Death because that's the person that Joe Biden traded to get her out. It's that simple. So I just wanted to address that about Brittney Griner's antics. Now, as for the other part about the WNBA, the WNBA is apparently getting mad with the fact that Mikal Bridges is asking, when's the next game? I don't know why Mikal Bridges wants to go to a WNBA game, since, you know, WNBA games are not very good whatsoever. I could probably go to a local YMCA, watch a better product in there. No offense to women, but I mean, come on. Truth is the truth. When I come to watch a basketball game, I want to see dunks. I want to see crazy handles. I want to see three-point shots being made. I don't see that in the WNBA. I see people breaking free throws all the time. I see wide-open layups being missed. And I see teams missing the triple-digit mark in terms of points scored a game more often than not. It's very rare for a team to score over 100 points in a league where it's supposedly easier than ever to score. So I also have a problem with the product of the WNBA as well. But anyways, Asia Wilson has a problem in saying that Mikal Bridges is a weird dude for asking about the WNBA, which is a horrible approach if you ask me, because if I was Asia Wilson, I would be saying thank you for watching the WNBA. We need all the fans that we can get. So obviously that part just obviously annoys me with the fact how the WNBA is acting very snobbish and acting like they have a ton of fans. This is not the NBA where they can attract fans on a global stage whatsoever. It's not like they have globalism going on in there. So the WNBA, once again, is out of touch with reality in society. If you guys didn't know, Brittney Griner, she plays for Phoenix Mercury. Asia Wilson, she plays for the Las Vegas Aces. But who knew that anyway? Because I had to look it up on Google. Like Mikal Bridges responded back on Twitter. I'll just Google when your next game is being played. Now, if I was Mikal Bridges, I would have just said, you know what? I'm not wasting my time going to that WNBA game. You guys can go ahead and play in that empty arena. But Mikal Bridges was too nice to do that. But not everybody's going to be feeling that way. These antics that I'm seeing from the WNBA and Brittney Griner, it's just very unrootable. They make it very hard to root for the WNBA in general. When you watch those people in those leagues, you just want to go ahead and trash them even further. No, it's not because they're women. No, it's not because they're black. It's because of the fact that they're woke and the fact that they seem to be out of touch with real life and real society. So that is why I dislike Brittney Griner's antics in the WNBA, as I find it to be very obnoxious and very idiotic. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking, like the video, and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That'll be for the @Dustin-Tran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Twitter @Dustin-Tran and @Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter @Dustin-Tran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hope Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video, comment down below, check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel Sports Guy Talking.